especially if he's on the Kaisa. So I'm guessing it's gonna be a little bit more reserve in their play style. So now this is game number 2 draft between GALAXYRAZER, which is now on the blue side, and ACTIONPH on red, as Vi being the first one to get banned.
They really want to target onto this champion, the single targeted CC. So maybe GXR is going to hover into the ADC that is also mobile champion. Kaisa, Ezreal, these are the picks. But Akali is now coming through for GXR. Now ACTIONPH needs to think, if we ban out the Camille, it's gonna leave Fiora open for GXR to take, and we're not gonna have any Baron laners available for us. So it really depends on to the second ban of ACTIONPH and what's gonna happen in the draft.
Yeah, super curious what they decide to ban out. I mean, Gragas is still a very, very strong champion to pick up in the draft, but that means, you know, Camille, Fiora, and as well as Gragas open. What will GALAXYRAZER prioritize? Do they get the Camille? Yes, they might.
And Gragas could be the answer of ACTIONPH. This is a counter onto Camille, but they're hovering into the Fiora. They want to go for the 4-1 setup.
Yeah, definitely. They want that Fiora-Camille matchup, but we still don't know if that Camille will be on the jungle or top side. But just as we mentioned, Gragas is open. Get that, as we saw Yamada play that up in the top portion of the map, maybe even towards Echo, but GALAXYRAZER open to take the Braum Kaisa in this rotation.
And this leaves Draven open once again. GXR can now go for the Braum. As you stated, Riku and ACTIONPH, the mid laner open. You can pick up the Orianna once again to maybe punish Camille, Kaisa, and Braum. They're now locking it through. The support is going to be open as well. They could prioritize into Lux or maybe the Janna to counteract the hard engages of GXR. We talked about the Gragas-Janna duel, and we might see it today.
Yeah, I mean, we just as you mentioned, either the Lux or that Janna, but because, just as you mentioned, they do need a little bit on that engage portion, so they are locking in that Lux. I mean, who knows? We could see an 80 range less composition. I mean, we still have that 80 carry position.
Dual AP is indeed gonna be, you know, an opportunity and opening, but GXR is now hovering onto the Pantheon once more. Xpear with the hand from the spear is now getting it again, and this might be a dominating when it comes to map control type of champion for the side of GXR if they utilize it very well. And Katarina is now gonna be locked in. They're playing in for the assassin draft.
Yeah, this is just heavy, all in your face kind of draft for GALAXYRAZER. I love it. I love the aggression. It spells out they're just going to keep going and going against ACTIONPH. Now, what are your options for that carry lane, dual lane rather, as Riots will actually opt towards that Corki? I mean, you do have that safety, even though your package cooldown has been nerfed a little bit. I think the kit is still intact anyways, and Valkyrie proves to be that extra safety for yourself.
I love it, because Corki with the Gatling gun shreds out armor. Pantheon, Camille, Braum are champions that are strong when it comes to defensive capability. So ACTIONPH picking up the Corki is going to be their answer on the tanky champion of GXR.
I love it. I just as you mentioned, I love it too. Of course, the Gragas being on that jungle position. I'm not sure if you've seen aim on the Gragas just yet, because usually he falls back into either the Lee Sin, maybe a little bit of Jarvan here and there. So Gragas usually played by, I believe was played once by Yamada, which is kind of rare because usually he's on that duelist champion at the Baron lane. But this time he's back on the usual Fiora with a very advantageous matchup against the Camille here in the early stages of the game.
I mean, the Fiora has their post, can parry out damage, and he can just poke out the enemy team with the lunges. So it's definitely gonna be very dominating when it comes to level 1, level 2, level 3. But Camille still has the potential to scale out when it comes to mid-game, late-game fight. Now, I'm interested in the Gragas and Pantheon, because these two champions are varying a lot when it comes to the jungler lanes. Pantheon is very strong when it comes to the map control. You don't know where he goes after hitting level 5. So I think this is something to be reckoned with. This needs to be respected, and ACTIONPH rather, with aim being the jungler, should be responsive. Where the Pantheon goes, you need to respond, you need to act quickly to punish GXR.
Yeah, we'll have to see as we actually are in game number 2. Biggest question is whether or not GALAXYRAZER wants to finish this 2-0, or will ACTIONPH just snatch that away from them? Just as you mentioned, perhaps it is going to be ACTIONPH playing a little bit more slower, a little bit more safe, because if they either overextend too much or they become too aggressive, you don't know where X-Spear is gonna land his spear on.
And a double leash here from ACTIONPH and GXR at the same time. ADC support went in for the red buff and the blue buff, respectively, for GXR and ACTIONPH. And I think this just enables them to go for the faster clear, go for the faster jungler. And Pantheon is going in for the full bottom side clear, while ACTIONPH is already going for advance. Let's go to the red buff immediately. Let's get that damage up and running. Let's clear out the Raptors, go for the responsive act when we hit level 5.
Yeah, I think AIM wants to get to that red buff, rotate right away, because it could be a chance. Ikaros is a little bit overextended. Yamada actually needs help at the top portion of the map. He was actually close to death. Good trigger discipline, but hold that thought as the bottom side GXR wanting to get that engaged, but Riot is the first one to fall as GXR gets first blood.
I like the thought process here for GXR. They saw the buff of the comic spear of Pantheon, and they utilized it very well. Level 2, they already ganked out ACTIONPH, but now,
top side, Yamada actually burning that barrier, so a little bit vulnerable now. Eiko uses a flash, but doesn't matter. The passive of the concussive blows kicks in as Eiko is just walking casually to save his life, but it will not matter as G gets another kill.
But fight may potentially not gonna be over. Body slam.
Yeah, body slam as X-Spear will try to follow that up as well with another stun. Yamada behind, but he is so low right now. Flash used, but it doesn't matter as Draw will exit and retreat the fight. And at this point, AIM super low as well. Nicely done binding by Simon, but it's not enough to save his teammate's life. So far, that will be a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of GALAXYRAZER.
I like how GXR did there. They have the information. Gragas was hovering to the top side. The wave was not in their favor. GXR just got the kill in the mid lane as well, killing of Eiko. So pretty much, ACTIONPH AIM was the only one remaining onto the top side. So they went right through, they got the kill, and more or less, it was a 2-for-1 trade-off with the binding of Simon just perfect. Putting Katarina just under it, receiving a lot of damage from the turret.
Yeah, that was a pretty good binding, definitely coming from Simon. Expect more for sure. Shockwave used as AIM is actually hovering over Cast to put JC in a very uncomfortable spot, and that will be AIM actually getting the kill against JC.
And ACTIONPH is now playing very patiently. They got the kill into the mid lane. They're getting 2 kills, but now Pantheon.
There's X-Spear actually initiating the charge, and they have eliminated Riots again. Simon, unfortunately, the Lux here, not enough to stop the onslaught from GXR.
I like the responses here. X-Spear, level 5, went in for the ultimate. And GXR has the knowledge that there is a map presence control from the side of their team, with X-Spear having that ultimate ready already. So they just went through, they got the kill, they got what they wanted for, and they're going back through because they got already the kill that they got. That they went.
Whew, I feel like X-Spear is gonna keep doing this over and over. As long as his ult is up, he will go visit Riot's lane and just do it all over again. And unfortunately for Riot's, a little bit of deja vu for the first 3 minutes of the game from game number 1 to now. So hopefully we get to see the whole 5v5 shenanigans that we wanted to see in for ACTIONPH. You know, the shockwave, the body slam, put your ball on towards Gragas, let him engage, and then get the wombo combo, get the binding light. But GXR now actually near inside the dragon pit, as Draw just trying to zone away APH. Eiko waiting for the prime opportunity for everything else. There's the shockwave. That's a one-man shockwave on towards Spear, but he's able to at least stop the charge. But the rest of APH is just going to try to eliminate someone as our first casualty as Yamada be the first one out. Ikaros Hex Deck Ultimate and AIM super duper low, but now GXR is in the prime position to keep going. Valkyrie used as Riot is trying to run away, but Pow 1v2ing temporarily. He lands an attack for both of the dual laners of APH, and that will be a not ace, an unofficial ace actually, in favor of GALAXYRAZER.
GXR just played that very well. They were splitting against ACTIONPH. It's a 5v1, a 5v2. And Blastcone went in for the flash for ACTIONPH, but he doesn't know there was two people just hovering there. So pretty much it's a 2v1. They got the kill. GXR went for the flash, got through. So basically it was a 5v4 and it was a member disadvantage. And at the end of the day, when you have GXR with a lot of mobile type of play, skills from Pow with a killer instinct and JC, it's just too much to handle even if you're retreating back to safety.
That's true. I thought Pow's life was in danger. JC's life is actually also in danger. But he's going to be fine for now as AIM might be on the hunt. Does he want to throw the cask in? He doesn't have to just yet. But topside though, Pow and Draw, the duo, the deadly duo from GXR, wanting a kill over Simon here. He is all alone. He is in no man's land as Draw will lead the charge. Good binding at least. The tower is already aggroing him. And that will be a nicely done kill coming from the side of Action. This is the punish we've been looking for as flashes will be traded. And now Pow is all alone. As we can see, Riots and Eiko and AIM as well, just trying to chase him down, but looks like it's not going to be possible. Spear managed to escape, but he is with JC at least. Cask not available this time again. Does JC want to go in? It's going to be a little bit dangerous because you have that body slam to cancel JC's ultimate on the Katarina, but looks like no casualties again so far.
Mistakes have been made. It's just Draw, JC, and Pow diving under turret with no wave. And considering that Lux was there as well, you have the light binding. So once again, ACTIONPH has the turrets in their favor. It was the second man. It was the Simon. It was the carry in that matchup. So they got the kill. They got the replacement GXR.
Yeah, they definitely able to punish, and if they continue to do so, it could be, you know, that tail between GALAXYRAZER and Next Play where they keep punishing aggressive plays from GXR, because it basically spells that GXR just pressing that go button. So far though, Rift Herald already started. Yamada stuck in a 1v1 situation as Yamada procs his ult, but the passive from Ikaros might be too much because of the shield riposte used, but the last auto attack would destroy Yamada again. The 4v4 has now started, and as we can see, AP is just trying to run away from GXR. And at this point, you can see JC and actually Draw very, very low. They're able to get at least another kill, but Eiko is out for blood. He wants JC, but cannot, as an Oriana. Wait, it's not stopping. It's not stopping. JC has the barrier activated, and JC goes golden. The body slam, though, to the face will finish him off. Spear uses his ult in the mid lane. At least the final spark will be able to help at least with the damage, and it's not stopping Ikaros. Hextech ultimatum on towards Eiko, and he will assassinate him as Yamada again. Actually, nicely done binding coming from Simon, but Yamada goes near again, free for auto attacks, but the dash, but the burn coming from Pow will finish him off. What an extended fight, and GALAXYRAZER wins that.
I think these two teams overextended. I think ACTIONPH got the first kill, got the first few kills, and got the advantage in terms of that fight. But they wanted to go for more. They got JC to kill, sure, but AIM died, Yamada died, Eiko died as well, which enabled GXR to now then go for the tier 3 turn, because their members are now up.
Members are now up, and actually GXR just wanted to start a fight again as AIM is gunning too close, and his HP is just too low at the moment with, as we can see, Pow already godlike, as JC will just run away and retreat. 4 members still on this fight, just trying to clamor down the rest of APH as 3 members under the tower. And GXR, very disciplined, no binding, will connect. And that means that is the retreat, maybe not. Pow actually goes in and fights the base, and now Simon will be the next one to fall, and the rest of APH again back to base.
Wow, what a play. And GXR, on top of all that, was able to put the Rift Herald into the top lane. So it's just not a matter of a single lane push, they're going in for the double lane push. They're pushing the Dragon lane, while at the same time, Rift Herald is having a party into the Baron lane. And they're getting 2 turrets in the process, and look at that. 4 turret difference already. ACTIONPH has no turrets that is in their favor. With 23 kills to 8 kills of ACTIONPH and GXR, it's 13k gold lead. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of items already in favor of GXR.
Yeah, ACTIONPH having to be more patient now, having to play from behind and try to deny any sort of GALAXYRAZER's aggressive plays. They do have the capability of punishing. They have the cast. They have the binding coming from Lux. A flash body slam on towards JC, but will that be worth as the rest of GXR are actually just nearby? Simon just wanting to retreat. Xpear arrives in the scene, and now their focus is just towards Yamada. He falls as well. AIM just trying to run, but they're able to at least eliminate JC. But now Eiko with the flash, with the auto attacks. But never mind that, because we're looking at Pao 1v2ing Simon and as well as Eiko. It doesn't matter, Killer Instinct utilized as well. This is such a messy fight as the spear will not connect Simon, but in the meantime, we got Ikaros already split pushing in the bottom portion of the map.
Pao is the true definition of it is never too late. It looks like GXR was already losing that fight, but you know what? Pao just went right through, got the double kill, and plays that fight upside down. Got them in favor, and now they secured an inhibitor turret into the Dragon lane and secured the tier 2 turret into the Baron lane. So it's a turret effect for GXR, taking the gold lead to a next level. 9 people.
That's insane. That means every fight for GXR, they're able to not only but also immense amount of gold, but another fight actually kicking in. AIM tries, a spear actually arrives from the back line. An amazing flank. AIM very low, he wants to run away, but Jade his tail. But the fight is actually, GXR actually wants to retreat. Spear goes golden, but Ikaros arrives as well into the fight and now down the rest and what is left of APH, which is Eiko just responding back, and now the minion wave is just crashing down in ACTIONPH's.
Eiko, time and time again, the shockwave is phenomenal. But the problem is, you have an ADC that needs to dive in under the turret. The package was used to now retreat. Basically, there was no mobility left, and GXR just punished them.
Definitely a punish for sure, but the rest of the squad from APH has already respawned. GXR wanting to finish the fight, Ikaros wanting to end that Nexus, but because at this point of the match, death timers are still relatively fast, and therefore have to respect that still, GALAXYRAZER will be opting to either get the Baron or maybe even the Dragon to try and finish.
They're already happy. 2 inhibitor turrets already for GXR, that's pretty massive. It's natural lane pressure available into the mid lane and Baron lane, or Dragon lane rather, for the side of GXR. And now, 2 objectives are open. The Dragon, the Baron, and ACTIONPH has this space because the wave control is not going into their favor. So now GXR is already stacking 3 Dragon buffs in their favor on top of all the gold that they already have.
Yeah, GALAXYRAZER poised for sorta getting another win on towards a team fight, possibly getting that Baron in. Maybe ACTIONPH can possibly get that steal on that juicy objective as GALAXYRAZER already starting the Baron.
And ACTIONPH, I don't think they're gonna contest it anytime soon. The only thing that I see so far is AIM coming right up, go for the explosive cast, flash in, and go for the smite. But GXR's damage is just off the roofs, and getting that Baron Nashor is in a blink of an eye getting dominated.
Yeah, dominating indeed. JC actually just wanting, there's the cast unleashed by AIM. Now JC goes golden. It's just gonna knife out of there as Pow's our focus at the moment. Let's see where he decides to go because he's actually trying to lead this charge and not afraid because of how far ahead GALAXYRAZER is. Now, teleport coming from Draw as the last tower will stand there. Here comes Ikaros just charging in as well as with Spear. They're actually by the fountain already, just shoving ACTIONPH back to base as Pao is staring AIM away off. But now their aim is the Nexus, and that is a 2-0 in favor of GALAXYRAZER.
What a game, what a series that we've seen so far.
Legends never die.